Why, good evening. Hello, all of you out there. It is I, Vinny Rattlocke, and welcome to Mad Lab. And it's not just any Mad Lab, no. It is a special. That is right. And I'm probably coming in at an echo, so let's get rid of that right now. Anywho, welcome to the Mad Lab, and this is a special series that we're doing. It is The Road to VoltCon 2022. That is right. I am a feature artist in VoltCon this year. VoltCon, which is a Voltron and 80s pop culture convention taking place in central Indiana. Is now their fourth year. I was a part of it for the first 2 years. And now I'm going to be back at it again for this year. And I'm going to be making stuff that you're going to see at the convention. But before I go into any of it, I would love to give a shout out. Narazuri back after a long hiatus. We've been missing you terribly since you've been doing other things. You know, life, taking care of life. Can't be mad at you for that. But welcome. It was great to have you. And yes, and thank you very much on the congrats. Yes, I am now an affiliate. This is my first week as an affiliate member, and it's exciting. And I know Apple Pie Chart is here too, even though you haven't said anything yet. Thank you for being here, Apple Pie Chart. That's right, I see you. But no, so we started last week with a, if you haven't seen Voltron, you might want to do that. Started in the early 80s. Matter of fact, just recently there was a resurgence with Voltron Legendary Defender out on Netflix. A bunch of people and some famous actors and voiceover specialists that I completely adore was in it. Tyler Labine. Oh God, the other gentleman's name escapes me. He was Glenn in The Walking Dead. He is in it as well, and it's an amazing cartoon, amazing series. They did a very good job coming back up with us and whatnot. And so I am going to do my best to give them some stuff. For example, tonight, since I am a part of VoltCon for this year, I'm doing a special series of bowling pins that will depict all of the Paladins that control Voltron. And having them in a silent auction for charity. And right now, I'm actually just trying to dry something down because earlier I had filmed this awesome thing that you're going to see on youtube.com/TheBadassNetwork, where I try they're not little, they're about this big, Sour Patch Kid marshmallows. And not only do I try every single flavor, I then kick it up a notch by making a Sour Patch Kid marshmallow s'more, a Sour Patch s'more. So it should be debuting tomorrow, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time, on youtube.com/TheBadassNetwork. So definitely check that out. I'm currently just getting this ready. And the reason why is if you'll look, you will see there is a small minor stain right here. That's of the marshmallow goodness that took place. I actually used this very object to heat up the marshmallows. And because of that, I didn't want to exactly clean it off because this is my new workstation, if you will. So, with this being my new workstation, I am keeping whatever goes on it. This was on it, so now it's on it. Got my lab coat bunched up behind me. So, we're going to start moving along. Let's take one of these guys. Here we go. Oh, should have done that, but here's a hell's note right there. I'm just going to smooth that on there, make sure no staining happens to the bowling pin. Okay, here we go. Boom. Here's what we have so far done of the bowling pin itself. Everything was marked down where I needed to paint, and I've already started applying the red. So what I'm going to do is apply another coat of the red before I move on, because it's primarily going to have red, gray, silver, black, white, and a little bit of blue. Here's the one. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I still have an image up for reference. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this wonderfulness. Anytime you want to chime in and say anything, question, or just if you have some weird shout out to do, go ahead. I'd like to hear from everybody viewing this, as well as one of the other fun things that has been added since I feel is you can actually subscribe to this channel rather than follow. Now, a subscription does cost money. However, by doing that, it helps me get exposed. It helps expose myself to more people out there. So it lets Twitch know that there are people out there that actually want to see what I'm doing. And then Twitch in return will start allowing me to get viewed and stuff like that. It helps their the algorithm, if you will. So when Twitch sees that I'm getting subscribers, sees that I'm getting hype trains, sees that I'm getting whatnot. Like last night was excellent. Last night we actually, well, nobody's disappeared yet. They're just slowly coming in. It's how the show goes. Nobody was gone. You just showed up early, and you're here, and hopefully other people will be here as well. It's fine. You're enjoying yourself. I'm enjoying myself. So why? There's no reason to be upset, if you will. Normally master hooks and whatnot, they show up a little bit late, and that's fine. I'm not upset at them for that. I still have things I need to do, and I'm going to do them. So, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get this started. But no, that's one of the other things I was saying. So, for example, Missouri. If you now look, I don't know if it happened for you or not, but when you signed in to watch this stream tonight, for some people, it actually shows an ad before you're actually able to access the stream. Is that correct for you? Did you have to watch one or two ads before it actually brought you here to where we are now? I'm just asking because I'm learning as well as everybody else is. Because if so, since I am an affiliate, they now say, oh, well, if he's an affiliate, we need to throw ads on there and help, pay our bills as well. So there's one of the things there that happens once you're an affiliate is that you have to watch one or two 15 to 30-second ads. And, that's whatever. People watch ads on YouTube. They watch ads on television. Even just getting ready to start doing ads and whatnot. There you go. See? And by you watching those ads, it helps me as well as them. And it also helps you because who knows? You may see an ad and you go, hey, I'm really into that. And then you go and check it out. It's the best thing ever. But not only do we have the as well, there's also bits. They also call it cheers and whatnot. And, you will see it actually if you're on a laptop. Up at the very top of the comment section, it'll say sub, gift, or cheer to show up here. And what happen is you can give bits. Now, every bit is the equivalent of 1 cent to a person like me on this channel, a streamer, if you will. But by doing that, it also helps with Twitch recognize that people are that interested in seeing what's going on in this channel. So at any time you feel the need, throw bits, throw subs, anything like that helps this channel grow to get more people than just whoever happens to be here right now. So, but once again, thank you very much for being a part of this and watching this. So let's go ahead and get to the project. Oh God, where'd I go? First off, I need to grab Look real quick. Okay, sitting back down. Title's coming off so that I can actually have a better look-see at this pen. Adding myself stream. Let's go this route. Okay, there we are. So when I look at it, it shows me looking like that. Boom, perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, so I got my brushes right here. Let's shake up the paint a little bit. Go with a basic red today. There we go. I actually done one Paladin bowling pin years ago on site at the VoltCon convention, or VoltCon. And the one of the main owners, flagship runner, whatever you want to call him, Kevin, he loved it so much he actually purchased it off me, and basically was like, "Can you do some more?" And I was like, "More music?" Like, yes, of course I'm going to do more. I love making things. So here we go. I'm going to put this down here. So, this one's already had some red on it. So we will go here. Narazuri, have you made anything recently this week? Any kind of art? Sketches, paintings, anything fun? Since we haven't seen you in a while. Have you seen did you watch YouTube? Morning, Phil. How are you doing, everybody? It is the president of wrestling, Philip Stamper. Trust in Phil here. It's good to see you, Phil. Phil, I have some awesome news. I'm an affiliate. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that outstanding? I saw that you were live. I tried to get on a little bit, but I was having issues with my phone. You were in the car talking about how to upset, I believe, a wrestling promoter. I would love to know more about that. Because I unfortunately missed that. I saw that title and I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I want to know more about this. And when I clicked on it, I was constantly breaking up. Shenanigans, of course. Wonderful, outstanding shenanigans. Well, Phil, if you don't know, I'll bring you up to speed. On the one we started a while back. Yes, definitely. I like sparking people's creativity. With one of these nights when I get on here and you get on here at the same time, I'm gonna have to link you and get you on here live along with me, and we can just have a good old conversation with each other while I'm either painting stuff or we're watching horror films or whatnot. Remember this Friday. No, I'm only doing second and fourth Saturdays right now, so there is no horrendously horrible horror live. However, we are going to do a horrendously horrible horror live on the second Saturday, and when that takes place, we'll actually be watching more horror movie trailers. So I'm very excited about that. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to later tonight record a reaction to the trailer Spirit Halloween, the movie. I can't wait. That's going to be excellent. It's going to be outstanding, if you will. So there we go. We got the top of it painted. And see, a lot of people that don't know this yet, I'm very, even though everybody's like, "Oh, you're a scientist, you're a wrestler," and I'm also very into the arts, as you can tell right now, as I'm painting a bowling pin to look like the red Paladin of Voltron. Besides that, I love sparking other people's creativity. For example, Nursery, you've been doing some creations as well. There's another person, a couple of people who were also willing to give it a shot. Not only that, I'd even given them some space at my wrestling shows to sell their artwork and whatnot. And they were actually very successful. No longer, though, unfortunately, are they with me. They've parted ways, which is fine if that's what they choose to do. It's okay. There's always misunderstandings, and that's what they did. They misunderstood and they went a different route. And I'm not upset at them. However, Nursery, if you ever feel that your creations, which I can already tell by looking at it, they are, but if you ever feel like your creations should have any value to them other than just your own enjoyment, always feel free to hit me up. I am always willing to give a spot out to budding artists trying to get themselves more exposure. It's fun. And it's great to see the looks on their faces when they make some sales and whatnot. So I'm currently right now still working a little bit on this Voltron pen. We're over here on the side. We're gonna get these shoulder pieces done. Like I said, since it's a bowling pin, I'm not going to go full arms, legs, and all that other stuff because we still want people to see it and go, "Oh, it's a bowling pin." Because yes, it is a bowling pin. So right now I decided I want to do all the red trim, therefore I don't forget that I am painting Keith. Yes, because I forgot Keith's name last time. It was extremely embarrassing. I remembered every Paladin name from Legendary Defender except for Keith. I was so embarrassed. So, a little bit more here on the side. Maneuver. Maneuver? No, maneuver. Always worried if it can see this. I will say, Phil, it was great to have you in Indiana. Hopefully, I'm currently working on securing the venue and our sponsors so we can have a fun little October show. The show's going to be, once again, because I have a very swelled ego, Vinny's Halloween Treat. If anybody ever saw the original Disney Halloween Treat, that's what I'm basing it upon. And it's going to be another horror / Halloween show, if you will, which I do. I will. Because I enjoy that kind of thing. And it's going to be awesome. We've already announced our first match. We still haven't announced a date or anything like that yet, but it's going to be for the Horrorcore Championship, which I have right here. And I also need to fix. Boom! Look at that. The Horrorcore title. Here, I'll scoot this back a little bit. Everybody can get a good look at it. So that is the CPW Horrorcore Championship. And it is currently being held, even though technically I'm holding it. But the championship belongs to the Carver of Cutter's Alley, in which he will be facing one contender, which is Brandon Profit, in a horrorcore match. And everyone's like, horrorcore match, what's that? Well, horrorcore match, you have to have somewhat of a horror gimmick. And not only that, scary things are involved. Uh, there's no rope breaks. There's no tap outs. It's you bludgeon until they are just basically mush in the ring. So that's exciting. Uh, but yeah, no, that was our first match announced. We'll be announcing other matches coming. That's just I don't want to announce any other matches or anything until we definitely have a date and a venue selected. Okay, so the neck piece. Paladin. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're gonna move on. Cards of the mask right now, or the Paladin. A lot of people come on recently, and they all just like flew away. So yes, I got the black paint right here. Boom. That's what I have. That's what I'm going to use. So, and basically what I'm going to do is, even though there's supposed to be, I'm not trying. It's like, oh, the paint's still wet. Even though there's usually a mouth and stuff right here, I'm going to go ahead and just join the black all into the area. Worry about painting mouths and faces and whatnot. I just want to get the main look of some of the armor and insignia and whatnot. That's what's important to me. So there we go. I got a little bit of black paint down. Paintbrush has seen better days. Yes, this will be good. Got my brush right here. No, that's a little fanned out. I don't like that. Just keep the red. Let's just keep the red. Let's just keep the red. Let's just keep the red. So here we go. We're going to go on the lines. I think what I need to do next time is the white as a base for the bowling pin. So I think next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a black base for the bowling pin. Okay. All right. Just a basic first coat. I think when I normally paint, only about doing 2 coats is my minimum. I usually do 3 or 4 coats. All right. Very nice. Scientific bowling pin's way cooler. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I did. See, I started painting bowling pins back in 2014. We I started when I was working at a bowling center. The league we had, uh, DV8 had just released zombie head bowling balls. And the owner of the bowling alley was like, Benny, how can we get more people interested in buying these bowling balls? And I looked at him and I said, stupid. No, I'm just kidding. That was his middle name. But I said, well, The Walking Dead is quite popular right now. Why not have a league where while we bowl, we watch The Walking Dead? And then at the end of the league, everybody gets a zombie bowling ball. So we started it, and a lot of people were like, well, we don't want the first year, everybody got the zombie bowling ball. But they're like, what about trophies and whatnot? So what I did was I took a couple busted bowling pins and done them all up to basically clubs, stuff you could use as weapons against zombies. Because let's face it, this is a small ball bat. And they absolutely loved it. To where the next year, instead of getting the bowling pins, they actually were asking if they could be in the league and I could just custom make them bowling pins, which I did, and it was fun. I probably did about 50 bowling pins that year. And then we had a Marvel League where we were watching stuff in the MCU, and people got to choose their favorite Marvel Comics character, and I would in return make them a bowling pin with that character. It was quite fun. And now I'm back at it because it's something that day, and if you're good at it, why not do it again? So this is all I'm doing right now. Oh my god, I just accidentally dipped it in the red. Yeah, I botched it. I will do everything I can to make somebody smile or just feel better about their day, whether it's wrestle a match or taste something terrible, chug something, or make something that they want to take home and just look at and enjoy. Right here. All right. I hope you're still enjoying yourselves. Even if you got me just playing in the background, I appreciate it. Master Hooks! The wonderful Jedi Master, Jedi Knight, Master Hooks is here. Give you a shout out, Master Hooks. I hope you're doing well. I'm currently working again on the scientific bowling pin. The red Paladin bowling pin, which I should hopefully be finishing up tonight. And then, actually, the fun thing is, I'm still not done yet. After tonight, or after this stream goes down, I will be immediately going to Buckle Bomb Entertainment, which is youtube.com/Bucklebomb Entertainment. And I am doing a kind of like a mini reunion for something that I helped start. It's called Acquired Tastes. where we would try different novelty or weird mixtures and whatnot, snacks and foods. And tonight we're actually doing 90s nostalgia. Does it still hold up today with how exciting it was when it first came out? And I am going to be doing Lunchables. There's plain Lunchables and there is a pizza Lunchable I'm going to be trying as well. So that's exciting. I have this dead grip. Do you know that um, a standard bowling pin weighs between 3.4 and 3.9 pounds? Standard for a sanctioned bowling, uh, bowling rounds and matches and whatnot. If they're under or over that weight, they are considered non-sanctioned bowling pins. And if you ever get caught, as a matter of fact, I've seen plenty of time where somebody has bowled a 300 in a league, especially a sanctioned league. And when you bowl 300, you get a special ring and everything that says that you do that. But there'll be people that'll take 2 to 3 different pins, get all the pins weighed to make sure they're all the same average of weight. They check the ball to make sure that the ball hasn't been modified or drilled improperly, because yes, there are proper ways and improper ways to drill a ball that will make it lose its sanctioning as well. I learned a lot about bowling, more than I wanted. Before I left the bowling alley, I was bowling like I think a 185 average. It's looking good. I think it's awesome. With Master Hooks now doing streaming. I watched a couple of your battles. I think it was last night? Really good job. Can't wait to watch more. All right, so there's that part. I gotta give my hand. Oof. Holding the bowling pin like that for a while. Oh, oh yeah. That was a really good. That was a really good night. I was playing like that and stuff. But give it a little rest, right? Right, real quick. Ooh, why did I say it like that? Right. So now, this is all the first coat. I'll be doing a second coat. Should I grip it where I don't cause any. Because now I got to do this area in black. I saw some of the. I know I was listening to you do commentary. You just said sometimes I also do commentary and people need me to record and cast their match. You did such a great job. I was listening to you because I was like, oh, he's not even actually playing right now. But you were doing commentary. He's really good. 9-0 in the league. Wow. No, I can't hold on to that. I wouldn't be showing up not even knowing. I'd probably turn the lightsaber on and immediately take myself out of the game. Also, if you guys haven't yet, Master Hooks was on last night when I was doing an indie wrestler plays indie wrestler. We made it very interesting. We almost hit a hype train. We didn't actually. I don't think we actually reached it because when I went and looked at the stats, it did not show that we hit a hype train. We got really close. We got really close. But even though we didn't hit it, I said, hey, if we hit a hype train, I'll do Kermit the Frog. How's that sound? And we got close. We didn't do it, but I talked for Kermit the Frog. Oh, it was being funky yesterday. So what did we actually? So we actually hit it. It just Twitch was being silly, or what? Because that was annoying. Because you're like, I saw the purple thing, but like I was looking at mine, going, no, it still says we hadn't hit it yet. But I've never done a hype train before on my own channel, so it was still exciting. It was still very outstanding. I enjoyed it. And then for a good 5-6 minutes, I talked as if I was Kermit the Frog. I was Kermit the Rattlocke. I mostly do artwork for my own enjoyment. It's not good enough. So occasionally I give art as a gift. Now, okay, I want to highlight this. I want to say something about that. You said, Nursery just said, I mostly do artwork for my own enjoyment. It's not good enough to sell. But occasionally I give art as a gift. No. I'm going to argue that. The reason why I'm going to argue that is I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but you don't know what's good enough to sell. If you like to already say that about your artwork. For example, that piece right here. See this? See this art piece right here? This was my catch-all. That's what this is right now. I'm doing art on top of just a canvas because I wanted to. I always tell the story about how I laid cardboard out because I didn't want to get my table dirty when I was making stuff at my store. And when I was getting stuff piled up, getting ready to throw stuff away, I had a gentleman that paid his entire 2-year lease with one painting come up to me and said, "That's a beautiful piece." And it was like this. It was cardboard at the time. My firstborn son. It was the inside of his diaper box that I cut up in the diaper box and laid it out across the table. And there was paint, there was glue, there was melted plastic, there was burn marks, there was just everything was all over it. It was a mess. And he said, "How much are you selling that piece for?" I said, "Excuse me, that's just crap." He goes, "No, it isn't." He goes, "Look," and he holds it up and he says, "Cut it here and here. Just put that in a frame and put it outside with a price tag." And I sold that piece for $125. A piece of cardboard. And all it did was keep my table from getting dirty when I worked on stuff like this. I sold it for $125. It was at the time the highest paid painting that I made. Since then, I have done 3 others. This is number 4, which I'm making available. No, I don't plan to get the same amount out of it, but I have it available and I take it with me because somebody sees it, they go, "Oh my God, I want that. That is crazy." I'll sell it. The other person who I'm not mentioning, but they also felt inferior about their artwork. I had them set up an artist booth at my show. I still have one of their pieces. They may not like me anymore, but I still have one of their pieces because I loved it. I paid them and bought one of their pieces off of them. I had them bring more pieces to my next show. They sold more pieces and actually got commissions to do more paintings. But they, at the same time, said, "My stuff isn't good enough to sell. It's just a hobby. It's just me having fun." And their art is starting to take off. So, Marizuri, when you say it's not good enough to sell, is it because you haven't tried selling it yet? Because, of course, you can say that if you haven't tried to sell it. So I will put that out as a challenge to you. And that will be my challenge is I want you to make some more art. I want you to make enough pieces of art that we can do a sale. And what's the worst that's going to happen? If nobody buys anything at that time, then you're still just having fun making art. And I have pieces, I still have a couple pieces that I haven't sold, and I made it in 2016, still hasn't sold. But I also have pieces that sat there since I started painting back in like 2016, 2014, and just sold them a couple weeks ago. Just because nobody wants to buy it right now doesn't mean there isn't somebody out there that wants it. And why? And what I always say, if there's something you love to do, find a way to make money doing it. Because if not, because too many people try to hammer it into your head that you have to be at a 9 to 5, being paid pennies on the dollar. Like Master Hooks right here. Art projects from college. Keeping them locked up in a portfolio. Why? Is that what you wanted with your art? Did you want it to just stay locked away from admiring eyes? What if there's somebody out there? And see, that's the other thing I do with my artwork. I normally don't put a price tag on my artwork. I always tell them, well, how much do you think it's worth? I've had artwork. As a matter of fact, there's a person, I don't know if they'll be on here tonight or not. Clearing. Clearing's a very awesome individual. He was one of my first, I was at VoltCon, and he came and he purchased so much art from me. And I did. I told him that I had a person, it was a very large piece. And the guy said, well, how much do you want for it? I said, I don't have a price on it. How much would you like to give me for it? And it was a rather large piece. And he looked at me and he said, I'll give you $35 for it. I said, okay. I said, that's fair. That's how much you want to pay. And I don't mind it going for that. So we sold it. Same style, same size. This gentleman cleared came up to me. Well, how much do you want for this painting? And I looked at him and I said, I don't know. How much were you willing to give to me? I looked at it. He said, 75. $40 more than what the other person was willing to give. And I said, you know what? If that is the price that you're willing to give me, I will not argue this price. And he, since then, he has seen stuff of mine, and I value his opinion on price of my artwork. There's some stuff that I've seen where I'm like, this has to be $100 piece. And somebody, he's told me, or other people said, I'll give you $40 for it. Well, then obviously, and it's like, why tell somebody that my art is, that piece is worth, I mean, to me it is, yes. But the value is only worth as much as what somebody is willing to pay you for. Now, yes, you can hold on to an item until it gets sold, or you can keep your storage units empty and not have to buy more storage units. Because I've seen artists where they have rooms stacked up to the ceiling, storage units that they haven't opened up or cleared out in months. They're losing money by keeping themselves from making money. And that's, to me, I'm like, it's tragic, because why did you make that painting? You never want to, you don't, with all honesty, you don't want to make art to sell. You just want to make art. And if it does sell, go for it. If it doesn't sell at that time, I always tell people, art will not sell at that time, that's fine. There will always be another time. But if somebody's willing to pay you right there and then for it, you have a feeling on what value it is. Their value may be different. And that's where in your head you have to say, this person that's going to buy this is probably going to put it up in a room or give it to a friend or something. And it is going to be hoisted up on display and admired by said people. Why should I rob them of it over a fistful of dollars? But anyway, no, that's good, bad, and the ugly. Anyway, good, the bad, and the Vinny. Know that's why a lot of times when you see me at my, there will be a handful of things that will have value that I will say this is how much it's going to cost, and I'm charging mostly a um, a service fee for doing stuff, but a lot of the times my artwork will have no price tags on it because I like to see what they say. All right, so there we go. Well, that happened with a skinny puppy tour T-shirt I got for like $40. I sold it for 30. The shirt had a wicked design on it. Didn't want to sell it, but I have a T-shirt problem. Yeah, a lot of us do. So now I draw vines, cover album. Saying without the words, I might have to do it for next art sale or not. Yes, why not? I've even done that where I've had a yard sale and just I called it an art sale, and almost everybody's town, every city or every town somebody lives in, they have like maybe a fairgrounds or some kind of a local get together place. There's always people. Skull and mortar, how skull and mortar? We're talking about making and selling art, but there's always a place local, like where I live. We have fairgrounds there. And almost every other weekend, somebody's having a craft fair or an art fair or something where people are selling handmade goods. And it's always good, and especially like there's and see, I'm not willing to meeting went well, skull and mortar. Um, I'm willing to go anywhere just because like there's going to be a small Christmas bazaar that's going to be taking place at this school that I'm not even affiliated with. But I said, you know what? I'll have a table there, and just why not? It's fun. I, I may sell something, I may not, but either way, I'm getting to know the community, and they're getting to see my work. You know, there's even next year, depending on how my wife's foot does, I may be joining and selling artwork at the local farmers market because they're looking for other stuff than just, people selling cabbage. So now that this area has dried, I'm going to go back up and do a second coat. All these guys again. Tilt this back down. I'm going to tell you this right now, Skull and Mortar. I've been getting really. There you go. I've been getting really excited about November for uh, Wrestle Arts. And if none of you have, you need to get with it. Wrestle Arts is going to be amazing. It's that's one of the things I hate. I don't use that word often, and I'm going to use it right now, and I'm highlighting this. I'll think about it. It comes from growing up being told I'm not good enough, no matter what I do is never good enough, and I'll struggle with this. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words because reading that it too much too often people are growing up being told they're not good enough, they'll never be good enough, they shouldn't even try. Put your head down, do your job, collect your paycheck, go about your day. So that is a I'm sorry. Yes, skull and mortar, that's right. Science them. But that is one of the things that just it boggles my mind. It's like why do something like that to somebody? Why destroy somebody's creativity, their spark, just because you don't care? So your stuff is good enough. I saw a picture. I saw it. I like it. I know there are probably a handful of people just off the top of my head that would probably see that and be like, well, how much you sell that for? And like would be interested. And you can, yeah. So and that's why We need to Buckle Bomb Entertainment. How are we doing? Matter of fact, there's Buckle Bomb Entertainment. At 9:30, in about 15 minutes, I'll be going live with them. Uh, we're going to be eating 90s food, 90s nostalgic food on Buckle Bomb Entertainment. YouTube.com/ Buckle Bomb Entertainment. Yeah, people try it. Yes, people try and talk me out of crazy stuff all the time. Vinny will tell you I have lived a full life. Don't. Yes, you have. You have amazing. And see, that's the thing. It's a lot of people, when you really look back and you think, it's a lot of people always want to say how boring their lives were and stuff. Well, I mean, did you let it be that boring? Don't let people in your head. Don't let negativity get in your head, guys. You don't need negativity in your life. And if for some reason that negativity is like a family member or somebody that you cannot physically get away from, you need to find ways of keeping it out of your head. I'm sorry that that happened, Missouri. I'm sorry that you were treated that way. It's a terrible thing. But do know that when you are here on my channel, and also know with the outlaw group, you're that's a safe place for you. You have family. You have people that care. Everybody on here right now that I talk to, I consider you brothers and sisters. You know, all we're just we have to keep positivity going. Yes, and I'm happy that you're still here, Missouri. If you weren't, if you weren't here, I would be able to reach out to you. Life is a fight. A lot of times, the most positive people that you see, you're also part of Skull Mortar's crowd. I mean, because you bought his sauces, so. But I honestly believe a lot of people that you see that do what they can to remain positive in life is because they have dealt with so much negativity growing up. And sometimes it does the burden does become too great, but that's if those people are not willing to reach out and because yes, it's like the Beatles song, I get by with a little help from my friends. You know, it's silly that I quoted that, but at the same time it's true. It's hard to get through some of the toughest stuff in life by yourself. That's why it's good to find like-minded people that are willing to hold you up, pick you up, and fight alongside with you. I had a conversation with a fellow earlier, told me some really terrible stuff that happened to him recently. And I don't think he was ready to hear what I had to say, but I told him that I honored his courage for being able to talk to me about the stuff that happened. I told him if he was to ever want to stand up and talk out about it, I will be there to stand by his side and help his voice carry out farther. So, and I'm that way with all as well. Even though Skull Border's a heel. I'm loving how this is coming along. And see, since I'm engaging in conversation, it's taking me a little longer to get this done. So I may have to finish this. I'm gonna have to finish this in post. Um, oh yeah, it's no Narzuri. I've seen your stuff. You can do it. You're an artist. I've seen your work. Definitely, it's not true. I still think one of my favorites. know who Skull and Mortar is. Yes, Skull and Mortar likes to uh, bust anatomical spheres, but at the same time, I still remember when I was a part of another whatever it was. Um, a person decided to come on as a first-time Twitch chatter just to point out that I'm fat, and I was just like, oh, okay. And one of the very first people to speak out against this person just jumping on to be like, hey, look at the fat guy there, uh, was Skull and Mortar. Like, really? He's like, it's like a sibling. I call it sibling syndrome, where if you have a brother or sister, it's like my younger sister. I will talk so much smack to her, but I'm to. I'm her brother. The minute somebody else wants to run their mouth, they're gonna have to deal with me. And uh John Skull and Mortar showed that real quick, and I was like, look at him go. Like that's what 20 plus years of friendship. That's what that is. That's definitely what that is. It was easier for me to make friends with the people that other people normally didn't want to be friends with. I was friends with, you know, Skull and Mortar, good friend of mine. Another person was a good friend and came back into my life offering friendship yet again before his uh, two people before their untimely demise. One was my friend Rob Betcher, and then there was also Rob Kincaid. He came back, and matter of fact, he talked to me at the first Wrestle Art show. You know, he even said, "Look, Vinny, there was a lot of stuff that went down, and my head was in a different place, and I'm a better person. I just want to reach out and apologize." I didn't know what to do when something like that happened, and at the time, I still had a chip on my shoulder with half of the people that were there. Because I always wanted to be there and support Skull and Mortar, but some of the people I saw back there, I was like, I don't like these people. One of the people that I thought had beef with me actually came up and apologized in front of everybody else, and it did. It dropped me. I wasn't ready for that. Let's see, if he was gone. I think we should do a. That'd be fun. We should do a Rob Kincaid Memorial Tournament. But the rules are they have to have tattered cowboy hats and like Bruce the Barber Beefcake tights and streamers on their arms. That's the only way they can wrestle in that tournament. He was. He was very misunderstood. He was a good see you in the tasting room. Yes, I will see you shortly. Everybody just remember after this is over 9:30, youtube.com/Bucklebomb Entertainment for acquired tastes. 90s edition, where I will be eating Lunchables and maybe trying something weird. I'm a scientist. I like to experiment. And Igor, calm down. He was up in his attic, found the plaything, fresh kill off the road. Just replenish my pineapple express sauce. There you go. Oh, and Skull and Mortar, since you weren't here yesterday. Master Hooks, Master Hooks and Darth just out of nowhere started throwing uh, gifted subs and bits and stuff. We almost hit a hype train, but because of it, I actually went into my Kermit the Frog voice. If you hadn't heard it yet, Skull and Mortar. So on Wednesdays, since it's mostly just audio that you'll hear me through while I play the indie wrestler game, we're going to start doing that on Mondays. Where if we hit a hype train or a certain amount of bits and subs, I'll just go into a random character voice. I think next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Grover. Heck, I might even read the monster at the end of the book. Who knows? I can do Kermit, Grover, Cookie Monster, uh, or no, Ernie. I can do Ernie. No, I can do other characters. I can do more than just Muppets. I swear to God, I just haven't done them in so long. Okay, there we go. So, so I got all the black trim done on it. So next will be the white. Because yes, I'm going to go back over this with more white, a couple blue accents, and I need to find. Here we go. I'm going to be using this blue for the visor. And then when I'm done doing all this, I'm going to hit it with some trim. I'm going to do some black trim and some silver trim, going back over everything to finalize it all out. Like I said, it's 9:25 right now, so I'm going to get the visor done, first coat, calling it a night, so that I have time to prep and get ready for Buckle Bomb Entertainment segment. Like I said, youtube.com/Buckle Bomb Entertainment. So hopefully we'll see you guys over there, in which we'll be trying food from the 90s, but not actually from the 90s, like, nostalgic food that's still being made today. Because, oh God, that'd be terrifying if I. There we go. Nice bluish tone for the visor. This brush here. Take it back a little bit. And then I'm also going to paint the other 5 Voltron Paladin bowling pins off camera, because if I was just doing the bowling pins every week, you guys would probably go insane. Just be like, really? Now it's the same thing we just watched for 3 weeks, but it's yellow. So I'm gonna get Vinny riled up and say something else about how people didn't like me. I have to go pick up my wife from work. Peace be with you, Master Hooks. It was awesome to have you on here. And just remember, Master Hooks, it's not just science; it's science. All right, there's that. Science. All right, so now I just have the center here. just have these two. Yes. All right. So we are done for the night. There's just a couple other pieces. I'm actually, it's 9:30. I'm finishing right now. I'm just giving a shout out to everybody. So I'll be right there. So thank you to all of you that was able to see. Great to be back. You want to go to youtube.com/bucklebomb entertainment. I will see you there. Any of you guys that want to be there, I'll see you there as well. We're going to be eating some Lunchables, talking about 90s nostalgia snacks. That sounds like fun. But until then, just remember, thank you guys very much for being on here. We're going to be finishing the pin next Thursday on the road to VoltCon 2022. So Narazuri, Bucklebomb Entertainment, Master Hooks, Apple Pie Chart, Skull and Mortar, Clearig, all of you out there, just remember, this wasn't just art. This isn't just a bowling pin. This wasn't just VoltCon. This was outstanding. Also, science. You guys have a wonderful evening.